For those of you that are looking for a very shallow level idea of what's going on with Microsoft and why they're under fire right now for their decisions that they've recently made, a gigantic corporation eats up pretty big companies. Activision Blizzard and everything that they own, as well as Bethesda and everything that they own. Unfortunately, after the buyout, it looks like Microsoft is kind of trimming the fat, and a lot of people are saying that some of the fat is a necessary ingredient. The Blizzard Activision acquisition was a gigantic hurdle for Microsoft. And during one of the FTC hearings that were trying to make sure that this is a fair business practice, basically said you cannot let go of certain amount of employees if you do absorb this company. To which it seems like they let go of a bunch of people and now are getting fined by the FTC for doing so. So absorbing companies as a giant corporation already doesn't look amazing on a PR standpoint. Also now looks terrible that you're absorbing them and then trimming the fat. And some of the fat, like Tango Studios, who developed Hi-Fi Rush, which is a heavily awarded and well-received game, seems to be a necessary ingredient. And now Sarah Bond is basically responding to this on Bloomberg Tech. Dude, this woman looks identical to my third grade teacher, like just like her. I love my third grade teacher. I'm not being mean.
One of the things that was most upsetting both to Xbox gamers and to employees is that, one of the shuttered studios in particular just created a hit game, did really well on Game Pass in terms of engagement, and won a ton of awards. Shouldn't succeeding in that way ensure the future of a studio?
All right. Did anybody else see the body language? Yeah, read body language on these interviews, by the way, guys. Look, I'm not gonna. Let's hear what she has to say. Let's hear what she has to say.
You know, one of the things I really love about the games industry is it's a creative art form. And it means that the situation and what success is for each game and studio is also really unique. Like there's no
Okay, if you love that the games industry is a creative art form, then why are we stifling it? We know that disbanding this studio that obviously has extremely creative people and probably absorbing some of the creative assets into bigger projects is essentially just feeding a beast of an already established IP.
and it means that
There's the eye flutter again. There's the eye flutter again. Sorry. Sorry.
and it means that the situation and what success is for each game and studio is also really unique. Like there's no one size fits all to it for us. And so we look at each studio, each game team, and we look at a whole variety of factors when we're faced with sort of making decisions and trade-offs
If anybody was questioning, we look at a bunch of factors. These bars are the factors.
like that. But it all comes back to our long-term commitment to the games we create, the devices we build, the services, and ensuring that we're setting ourselves up to be able to deliver on those promises.
So let's go ahead and twist the narrative and making it so you're setting yourself up in a position where you can deliver to the consumer and making it about the consumer, and we're going to somehow benefit from this. I was almost incredibly difficult on Sarah Bond, and I even made fun of her etiquette, which it could just be like her. That could be her. Like hypothetically, she goes on stage, looks that woman in the eye, and says, "Well, here at Microsoft, we don't care how great you do. We don't care about how talented you are. We don't care about how successful the product you make is. If it's not a gigantic IP and it's not raising the bottom dollar by a trillion, well, then we just don't care." A lot of people would say, yeah, I respect that. No, you wouldn't. If you would respect that, then you're an asshole. We can see Sarah sitting there and speaking on behalf of the decision that was made by probably a committee of people. Unfortunately, she's in a very difficult position where she can't just be having fun working for a video game company, but at the end of the day, she's talking about feeding the beast. Very cliche analogy, business is machine. Machine have parts. Machine that have parts have part here. Tango Studios. Tango Studios good. Tango Studios real good. Over here, much more important. Big part of machine. This good part, put it in big machine. Machine get faster, stronger, and bigger. There's things that happen behind doors that I can't explain. That's literally what her job is. A PR nightmare. You can't answer this question correctly one way or the next. If she was completely honest with you guys, it would still sound pretty damn bad. I'm not trying to say what she did was right, but a business doesn't care about people's feelings, and unfortunately, her job at some point is to hurt some people's feelings. A business is made to make money. They do what's best for the business. They just spent a lot of money. I just spent a lot of money. I bought a new car. What does that mean? Budget cuts. What does that mean? Unfortunately, less Uber Eats. I suppose having a branch out like Tango was looked at and approached at like a luxury. That stifles a lot of creativity and why it has such a negative effect and such a negative PR impact. With that said, I want new games. I want new and exciting IPs. I'm tired of people just like hopping on the bandwagon of like huge IPs. I mean, look at Ubisoft and Assassin's Creed and look at Call of Duty, and rather they just don't do interviews right now. Yeah, well, I mean, it's an impossible question, right? No answer was given. No, an answer was given. But it just like, how did you expect a better answer? Like, visibly uncomfort, dodge the question, said a whole lot of nothing. Yeah, I know everybody's going to be complaining about that. Oh, well, spoke for a whole minute without actually saying anything. Yeah, yeah, we get it. But like, if she was to tell the absolute truth, like, what do you think would have happened then? Right? Then the whole comment section, instead of her saying she basically PR dodged the question, would turn into, wow, she's a complete monster. Oh, and make sure you guys follow me on Twitter. I'm on AGAXB, that big knuckle punch on a keyboard name that I have. Talk to me. I usually respond to people on Twitter, as long as you're not an anime profile picture. Have a good day, guys.